Hey everyone, welcome back to Pesterquest. This is my third consecutive recording. I really want to get done and get to Dirk Strider, so it's all good. Who are we on? Who's this? Vriska, the Scourge of the High Seas. Okay. Oh my god, why are we why are we okay? Your latest narrative jaunt has you walking down an Alternian shore. The two moons light up this beach cove in shades of pink and lime green, their reflections playing up the shimmering patterns in the gentle waves. It would be beautiful if not for the haggard, monstrous gulls picking the flesh from dead and pungently rotting, fish, crabs, and even one of their own. You keep your distance as they eye you warily, gore on their chipped beaks. These are not potential friends. Well, they could be if you tried. Everywhere you jump, serendipity seems to guide your hand. But would it be right to call you fortunate? The night is cool, almost cold. You kick a pure white seashell down the beach. It skips gracelessly in the dark gray sand. You have brought friends together and just barely begun to master this tremendous and strange new power. But no, you think. You are not fortunate. As you walk alone down the sand that's still radiating stored up heat from the searing day, you feel a pang. Ping. Something is missing. You know you felt this way before, but you can't place when. You have a gulf within you, the width and breadth of this ocean. An isolation so plain, so true that it seems impassable, invincible. You step on a weird bug and you don't even care. Yes, you are filled with a sudden, almost comforting conviction. Nothing you have done on your journey has really made a difference. If you can pick up and put down the lives of these alien weirdos and human weirdos and shake them like an etch a sketch when things go wrong, are you really accomplishing anything? Or are you just building stuffed castles? Stuffed castle. I tried to, okay. In the sand with flimsy plastic implements. Castles that won't mean anything for nothing when the tide rises. You decided you are a creature of solitude. You are a rock. You are an island. From now on, you walk alone. Okay, that's a big change. There may be an angled figure crouched with terrible posture on a deck ahead. Sure, that figure may be sitting next to an intriguing looking moored ship, yes, but surely one glimpse of a potential life to meddle in won't immediately make you fall off the wagon back to a life of itinerant friendship, right? Whoa. Oh, sweet new friend. God dang it. This music, though. You amble over to the girl hunched on the dock like the stupid thimble friend person you are, doing an acrobatic pirouette off the wagon. She hasn't seen you yet, so you watch her like a creep. Let's turn this up a little bit. Okay, maybe not that much. Just move it back to where it was. She's leaning over a complicated pile of papers, erasing boxes and filling them in again. Every once in a while, she pauses to roll various dice. Oh my. As soon as you take one step onto the wooden deck, she looks up and jumps with a feline quickness into a standing position, looking immediately ready for a fight. Feline, we're not to that chapter yet. Okay, here we go. Whoa! What are you? You raise your hands in a pathetic sort of I'm innocent and weak motion, which for you is basically any motion. Wait a second. You're that weirdo that was bothering Kanaya, aren't you? Yep, you're exactly that weirdo, and now you're here saying hello to a new stranger and maybe make a new friend. Isn't that great? Great, just what I needed, more meddling. I know I'm the coolest, but I'm kind of busy right now. Big campaign tonight. Dude, you are so good at campaigns, you tell her. You're all about hope and change. You helped Al Gore hang a Chad. Tippy, Canoe, and Tyler, too. What even are you saying? Don't call me dude, or anything else for that matter. You mean you're down to help? Maybe be her campaign manager? Ha! I'm the captain here, buddy. But as it happens, I'm currently all out of first mates. Wanna be a swaggy? What does that say? Swabby? Swag? Yeah, sure. Oh, it's like a boat thing. Yes. So that's why there's a boat here. What are all the papers on the ground for? The campaign. They're the character sheets for me, the greatest petticoat sea grip ever to sail the seas. One of our friends was raised in a cave and she still knows what flarp is. Well, you can zap over to the cave and ask her then. Her look of indifference is immediately replaced with a tilt of the head, as though your threat to leave caught her attention. Ew, not unless you want to smell like cat stuff for weeks and get high off secondhand nip. Look, it's simple. Pick a name and roll up some stats. For example, I am Marquis Spinneret Mindfang. I'm the scourge of the high seas and undefeated champion of naval flarp. My colors on the horizon turn even high bloods into sniveling cowards. You say that sounds really cool, but aren't troll names 6 letters long? You mean you've only met a couple before this, but for some reason you have a really strong sense of the rules here. Really? Only 6? Oh, I didn't even notice. Was that true? Wait, is it? Okay, I didn't know. I'm in character here. Try to keep up. You guess that explains the outfit. She seems really into this. Maybe weirdly into this. What? Okay, it's all a bit intense. Isn't this just a game? Flarp is more than just a game. And I'm the best there is. How about this? If you agree to make a character and sail with me, I'll tell you my real name. It's Vriska. You look at her elaborate costume over at her ship and decide, why the hell not? You've already made your friend bed. Now you have to sleep in it. Now that you're going to sleep or anything, that would be patently ridiculous. Whoa, who pulled out this magazine, bro? Do I have to read this? Okay, let me see. Okay, let's walk you through this. You should be flattered that a master gamer like me is giving you the full tutorial. I had to read the books myself with no help. Flarp, Player's Handbook, Gaming, Flapstractions, that, bro, I'm not doing this, bro. Basically, this is freaking crazy. I'm pretty sure she's gonna explain it anyways. The first thing you do is roll values for each of the 10 dice rostra. Simple, right? She pops a huge bag of dice out of her Celodex and starts handing you groups at a time. You roll 2d4. Is this what this is? I don't know what's happening. For dice rostrum, Throne of the Empress, and get 2 1s. You roll 6d6, which I do not see. I don't know, bro. For dice rostrum, conductors stand and 6 snake eyes stare up at you from the wood of the dock. Wow, you're really bad at this. Take the insult lying down. You've got to hand it to her. When she's right, and she's right, so she's right. You finish all 26 dice rolls required for this game, and you've gotten the lowest on each one. What rotten luck. I've never seen anyone roll this low before. I didn't even know you could get 0. It's okay, we can say this by putting the stats in the right place. Are you sure about that? She flips to another page of the player's handbook that shows you the attributions of Flarp. For some reason, you can read them despite just arriving on this planet for the first time. Right? So you're... Okay, so we had some technical difficulties. I am really triggered. Well, I got like a good amount through this story and my recording just vanished. It's gone. So I have to redo this. And it's gonna be a lot of rereading and I do not want to reread, but it's what happened. So we're just, yeah. I don't know exactly where we were, but it was like around here, so I am done with life. You know what? You're an informed reader and a prepared gamer, alpha gamer. You've got this. You ask Vriska what's next. She points to one of the glowing, blinking eggs which is hatching a pixelated-looking bat. It flaps its way into the air with a high-pitched squeak and starts glowing and projecting a holographic image of a torch. Alright, all you have to do is assign your dice rostra on your attribution scone. What? Pick your best and worst stats. Your top two stats determine your starting class. There's a lot of classes, but I'm already the best one. Alright, well, that seems simple enough. Yeah, okay, so basically, last time I just picked random because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I'm just gonna do that again. I guess I'll do something else because I picked this one before. But I guess we'll do something different. We'll be a flexterous fellow, okay? Let's see if she says something different. Oh wow, she did. Last time I picked Play Night, and she was like, "Oh, that class is trash," basically. So now she's saying, "Did Equius put you up to this? Try not to get any muscle beast milk on your character sheet." It's like, who was Equius? A max level petticoat Sarah Grip and a level 1 flexurous fellow. Not exactly the meta strat. You're lucky you're paired with the number 1 gamer in Alternia. Before I can carry you to victory, we need just one more thing. There's more of this stuff. What now? Is a giant sandworm going to poke its head out of the sand and puke up some freaking game mechanics that will be described in excruciating narrative detail? Quit being so dramatic. Your character needs a name. Oh, a name. You already told. Okay, I already told Jade, but like, I don't remember what I told Jade, so, well, man, you're not feeling as comfortable with it right now for some reason. Why is thinking of yourself as a distinct being with an identity and a history feel so uncomfortable? What's wrong with you? Might as well just make up a character name. Okay, guys, my name's the Mailman. Represent. The Marquise welcomes you aboard her ship, Mailman. That's me. As soon as you confirm your name, the other eggs start squelching and cracking into more little flying holographic biotech projections of various shapes and sizes. Moths and dragonflies and lightning bugs zipping off into the distance. Vriska captures all her various books and character sheets, pushes her eye patch glasses up the bridge of her nose, and clambers up the gangplank of her ship, which you see has a name painted on the side in cerulean script as you follow her. Bridgentine. Or Bridgentine, we don't know. Here, hold this. Vriska hands you a rope and you hold on to it, keeping the mainsail rolled up as she scurries to and fro, aft and bow, across the deck of the ship, making adjustments. You watch her try to tie a double bowline, but struggle with the dexterity of her mechanical fingers, swearing in frustration under her breath. You politely look away and try to make idle conversation. You ask for her end of the bargain. What? Her name! You made a character. She tells you her name. That's the deal. She secures another rigging and stomps back over to you. You haven't really made a character until you're in costume. Is your fit not already fresh? Perhaps even the freshest? Here. She dumps an extra outfit out of her inventory looking almost exactly like an earlier version of hers, smaller with more amateur stitching. You put on the big bridge coat and feel super cool. I like how she just had that prepared too. I mean, it was hers and she just so happened to have it. An extra thing that she can't fit in anymore. It was like, oh wow, that's so coincidental. Okay. She looks at you, tilts her head to evaluate, and then grabs a jaunty hat, feather and all, from her Silodex and pops it on your head. Can I see this though? Nice. Alright, my name's Vriska. Vriska Circuit, don't you forget it. Vriska Circuit are the Marquise. Satisfied with her preparations, snatches the rope from you and lets it go, unfurling the mainsail. She practically skips to the captain's wheel, ready to steer the Bridgentine out of the harbor. Real name basis is one step closer to friendship, though for a moment you feel like you got told that name already. Your brain is messed up enough without remembering stuff that maybe didn't happen in canon. If canon is even a real thing that means something anymore, your unsettlingly metatextual introspection is interrupted by Vriska shouting, "Roll for initiative!" You hear the buzz of projector bugs boarding your ship, and soon, if you die in the game, you die in real life. 4 flickering holograms appear on the main deck, looking like lurching zombie trolls. You already hear dice rattling on the deck, and you look over at her to cheat and figure out what you need to roll. Alright, I'm starting with an 18. Looks like you gotta subtract the modifier. 19, huh? Guess you gotta go first, mailman. This is it. It's LARPing time. You look down at the piece of paper with your abilities on it, ready to cast Magic Missile or Bugsby's Grasping Hand or something. You pick the top attack from the list. It's your special class ability. You channel the spirit of the flexurous fellow, point straight at one of the holographic zombies, and yell that you're casting MX Fantastic's Fury. I thought that said furry at first. You grab a d20 and blow on it in your hand. Your lady luck, no snake eyes, other gambling terms, whatever. You let the incosahedron of tabletop destiny drop through the air, awaiting the result with bated breath. Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. More dots. Dots again. You get a 2 and miss. God dang. Vriska laughs out loud. Check out how a real gamer does it. Then she shows you how a real gamer does it. Over the course of this and the next 4 holographic encounters of ballooning complexity, tediousness, difficulty, and word count, she just rolls so many dang dice and keeps track of it so many dang times. Stats. You're overwhelmed, bewildered, and tired of doing math in pencil by the time the last squid-themed hollow monster dies. Where'd you get a pencil and paper, man? You were worried about the danger of this game before, but it seems like the only way you're gonna die today is from boredom. Then you spot it. A schooner painted all in black emerges from the fog. You shout to Vriska that there's a ship on the port horizon. Vriska looks. Right? Does she not know the difference between port and starboard? Huh. You point in the proper direction and she gives that mischievous grin of hers. Now it's time for the real action. You've entered the PvP-enabled zone. What, you gonna kill me now, Loki? Loki, though? She puts aside her character sheets and dice, drawing a blue saber. She holds it in one hand, the ship's wheel in the other. That's the Rue, the ship of Dreadclaw or Ophelia. Top of the Naval Tharp leaderboards. She's got a whole crew on that boat. But she's just another rich, sweet sea dweller with hired help, and she's been too scared to face me. Fairy, run! Vriska's pointing at your ship straight at the Rue. You picked up Spread. You can make out a troll girl with thin ears and a gaudy purple outfit that you describe as sexy pirate Halloween costume. From the world's most bougie party city, Dreadclaw or Ophelia. It's absolutely garish compared to Vriska's more normcore approach to RP activewear, but dressed much more humbly than the captain are a bunch of lowbloods standing behind her, clutching rusty swords and shaking. So let's bring the fight to her. You're not slowing down. You're pointed straight at the enemy hole. Vriska steers your ship directly into the well-appointed schooner, and you struggle to keep your feet at the shock of impact, which knows the violet blood. And her frightened thralls to the deck of the Rue. She yells over the din of horrific wood-on-wood screeching. Hey, Swaggy! Wanna be really good at sword fighting? You look at her with stars in your eyes. Yes, you do want to be really good at sword fighting. You nod eagerly, and she underhand tosses you her blue-hilted saber, which you caught eagerly. Vriska grins back, puts her hand to her temple, and squints with her one good eye. The 7 red dots of her prosthetic seem to smear and blur as your vision loses focus. You've managed well to this point as first mate of the Brigantine, but your sea legs seem to give out on you all at once. You drop the sword you were just given, and it clatters to the deck. Oh god. You try to tell her something's wrong, but your mouth lolls open and you drool a bit. A dull pain gains a sharp and sudden clarity. It feels as though 8 spindly legs are crawling on your head. No, in your head. Like in your head. Each footfall feels more like a knife cutting through butter. At some point, all sensation slips into nothing and you follow the sword to the ground, asleep. What the heck? Wake up, moron! You don't hear that and you don't wake up. I choose what I want to hear, Vriska. The salt and swell of the ocean gives way to the rustling of alien trees. No longer do you hear the scream of gulls following your ship, waiting for corpses and gore to tumble overboard. It's all peaceful. Consciousness returns to you in its first present is the discovery that you're face down in slightly wet dirt. Some got in your mouth. You spit it out and sit up, brushing muck off of your flarp costume. Wait, that's not a flarp costume. That's a hoodie with a jagged cerulean symbol, a different symbol on it, loose fitting, as though it belonged to a friend. Welcome to Cotton Candy World, everyone. Okay. Half memories swim in your mind as you take in the scene, just as familiar as your clothing. A stump sitting in a clearing between the trunks of a purple-treed Alternian forest. A harpoon sticks out of it. Whoa. I'm not even gonna act surprised. I already read this part, bro. Oh my goodness, man. This stump will typically fill you with unease, an aura of death and defeat. But a squirrely silhouette cuts through the darkness, and you step further into the clearing and feel your heart lift. Sky high, brother, sky high. Sitting there on the stump, kicking bare feet back and forth, tilting her head to the side and smiling impishly, is your friend, Bold Deer Lamati. You remember her. You remember her! Psst. Fancy seeing you here. That's a joke. I'm a figment of your imagination and was expecting you the whole time. She pats the stump next to her in an inviting gesture and you sit down. You feel less adrift than you can even remember. You tell her you missed her. Of course you did. You've gotten yourself into a real mess, my dear friend. You ask about all your old friends. Sitting next to you, they flip through your mind clear as day, as though the memories were never locked away in the first place. How are Tagora and Galakaha doing? Has she run into Ardata again? What's going on in the neighborhood? Do folks miss you? That last question collapses her wry smile into a genuine crestfallen expression. I can't really tell you that for sure. You've seen it for yourself, just how much he can do. There's a whole other disturbance in this neighborhood, and it has his nefarious fingerprints all over it. It's almost like he was preparing for this. But I try to stay one step ahead, and I remember what I'm fighting for. To you, the question is arresting. What are you doing? Even with your memory clouded, you've just been bumbling into other people's stories, breaking things as you go. Well, there's nothing wrong with breaking things. It's like they say. Sometimes you have to compromise a few unfertilized cluck beast embryo in the name of a complete breakfast. Okay, you tell her you haven't had a good breakfast in ages. One of the places you were at had swords in the fridge. Also, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You're going where the river takes you. But things are different now. There is a great power within you that you are just now realizing. The power to shape the river, to use its waters to scour the lands as you please. A power even he doesn't fully understand. You look down at your hands. Sitting next to her, you start to remember the green room, the story you've fallen into. You tell her there's so much broken and you have no idea how to fix it. You tell her you wish she was real, not just in your head. She'd know what to do. She tilts her head again inquisitively. Am I, though? Just in your head, I mean. The story is only broken if you accept that it is broken. If you think of the story as something given to you. Well, Dirk Strider vibes. But it's not. Puppet masters may try and tell you that the strings they are pulling are the only ones. As she says this, her head jerks back oddly, but she continues whispering calmly as ever. Don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you that the story belongs to them. Not him, not anyone. Ah! You feel it too. It feels like threads tug at your body and at hers even more. Her limbs twitch in full and gruesome pantomime as more and more strings loop around her and disappear skyward. They nearly surround her completely, but you are powerless to resist, paralyzed. It's for you. It's always been for you. Remember, friend, the only question. Oh! She only manages to spit out 4 more words as she is swallowed up and tangled in a spider's web of marionette string, choked and broken. What will you do? Finally, I'm back! Ah! Oh my goodness. It got to this part when my whole recording thing decided to crash. I was so okay. We're back. This is where I was, okay. The whole scene seems to melt away in searing green, and you are falling, dancing beneath the skilled hands controlling you. He is here. He was already. The ticking of 1,000 clocks, exactly in time, echoes around you. Oh, it's Dog Scratch. Oh. Did you miss me? I seem to be on your mind. I'm flattered. It's no wonder you're thinking about me just after meeting one of my greatest disappointments. You really do spend too much time around willful little girls. It may start to give you ideas. Ideas of choice, of challenge. You're relevant because those holding the strings decided you're relevant. An observer. The show must go on, but don't make the mistake these little ingrates did. It can go on without you. The bits that really matter, at least. What's that? Am I doing this? I'm afraid not, darling. I don't even know what you're referring. Oh, okay. Tears sear at the edge of your eyes again. You try to keep bold ears, words in your mind as the strings squeeze the breath out of you. What will you do? Another voice seems to answer from another place entirely, scratchy and loud. It says, "Fix this." You wake up. Cold stone and a draft greets you. Charming. Florp. You what is that word? Blearily open your eyes. Memories of the dream already fading the wisp in your mind. Bro, you can't forget this, man, mailman. Come on. You're in the cluttered bedroom, or the cluttered respite block that you're sure is Vriska's, based on the broken 8 balls scattered everywhere. You pick yourself up off the ground and try to think about how you got here. You passed out back on the Bridgentine. She must have brought you home, but where is she? You turn around and see a window. You look outside and see a dramatic scene below. Vriska is mind controlling a group of thralls. Ones she must have won off of Dreadclaw while you were out cold. They're marching one by one towards a massive web. Perched in the web is a giant spider, heaving, hulking, hungry. Vriska's about to feed the losers of this game to her lucis. Oh, finally a choice. Oh god, no. I don't really want to intervene, because then she'll probably kill me too. But then again, let's do it. Holy, this was supposed to be a game. I mean, she did say if you die in the game, you die in real life. Okay? These innocent kids are getting fed to a freaking spider, and it's all because of your definitely essential contributions to Vriska's victory. This is so messed up. Games don't cause violence, you think, as you rush down the stairwell. They can't. Vriska is going to discredit an entire generation of gamers and add fuel to the fire of anti-gaming activism with this kind of behavior. Oh, and also kill some kids. That's like normal alternative stakes, though. You gotta defend the integrity of Fortnite. What? Bro, come on. Don't come out of here with some Fortnite. That's much more important. Obviously. Oh my goodness. What the heck is... She looks like that freaking person in, like, what is that, like, Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Who is Doctor Who? Bro, freaking Doctor... I don't... Bro, don't come at me. The Who's in Whoville. You rush out into the late night air, too late to save a tranquilized, mind-controlled olive blood from being torn asunder. Vriska's lucis holds the troll boy in her forelegs, petty palps tearing through clothing and chelichere tearing into gray flesh, feeding a winding intestine into her mouth. Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. You feel like you're gonna yarts. What? I've never heard that before. You have no idea what you're doing, standing out here alone against a giant monster and this gaggle of mind-controlled thralls, but you gulp down some air and yell, "Stop! Please, Vriska, please, you look like the Who from Whoville." Vriska turns to you and she doesn't look like she's doing a lot better, frankly. She's got a similarly sick expression on her face, but something in her eyes is dead, resigned. Her expression crumples into a scowl. What the heck are you doing? She squints her one eye in pain like there's a voice screaming inside her head. I know, okay? I know! I'm dealing with it! She steps up towards you and you see cerulean dice appear one at a time between her fingers. The dice are sparking with cold blue flame. You suddenly feel as though you're going to have a very, very bad time. First you fall asleep on me like a weenie and I have to fight the last encounter on my own. Then I carry you back to safety even though we just met. You owe me. Turn around and go back, now. You look up past her at the giant spider. The awful noise of squelching has stopped. 8 eyes are trained on you, blinking out of order. A spattered palette of multicolored blood is smeared all over her slavering mouth. There's 7 trolls still standing there beside her, mindless, mouths lolling. Next. You don't turn around. You don't go back. Oh god. You stand your ground, unarmed and without a plan. Surely your new friend will see how wrong this is. Vriska looks hurt for a moment, betrayed, but the same glare settles back on her face. You think you're a big hero stopping this dangerous person, right? Happy as a bivalve mollusk about your little protagonist moment? You're being stupid. You don't understand what's happening here. What I have to do. You can't fix this. Nobody can. But you're just another little weenie who thinks they're a hero and I'm a villain. So sure, I'll play ball. I'll be exactly what you want. Whoa, 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 whoa. She tosses the dice on the ground. I wanted the clown one. The dice glow with a blue flame as they tumble to a stop. An ethereal whip materializes and snaps around your ankles, and you are dragged dizzyingly fast towards the spider's web. Bro, Vriska, you can't kill me, bro. The friction on the rocky cliff face tears the butt off of your flarp costume. Oh man, exposing your delicate cheeks to chafing. Your greatest asset. But things get far worse than that as you are flung directly into the clutches of the horrific arachnid. Oh my god! The fangs of Vriska's luces pierce your skin and pump you full of a numbing venom that causes everything to fade to black and static numbness. Which is good because she's beginning to eat you alive. It's also good because you can't see or hear a little girl stifle a sniffle, holding herself with crossed arms, one mechanical and rocking back and forth, watching another friend consume others, chaos that never leaves her. Great work, hero. You got bored. Well, thanks a lot, Vriska. It was really, really helpful. Freaking. Oh, okay. I can't watch. I'll hide. I'm hiding, brothers. Okay. Hide. Vriska's Lucis is a giant spider monster that eats children. This explains so much and also raises a significant number of questions that you're going to think about while not watching these kids get eaten. You look for something to distract yourself with. You spot a black raggedy book much older than anything else in this room with Vriska's symbol on the cover. You reach for it and open it up, flipping to a random page and seeing what looks like a journal scrawled in cerulean, but not Vriska's handwriting from your character sheet. Looking inside the first page, you see the name Mind Thing. You read and holy, you're very unsure that this is appropriate for a young girl to be reading. You keep flipping through to different parts and wow, it just gets worse. Vriska named her character after this. You lose yourself and hate reading Mind Thing's long stories about petty crime, dubious content, and weirdly detailed descriptions of the outfits of a woman named Red Glare. Oh, Doctor Who, Mr. Who. You're surprised then Vriska walks up the stairs, hands in her pockets, looking at the ground. She doesn't even look at you before sitting down on the floor across from you, cross-legged and staring 1,000 yards into the distance. Oof. She rocks back and forth, hands still in her pockets. You go to give her a reassuring pat on the back. As soon as you touch her metal shoulder, cold even through her shirt, she turns to you with a jumping glare and hisses like a cat before facing away again. You get the message. This is the wrong chapter to be hissing like a cat. Okay. She takes an 8-ball out of her inventory again and then savagely, brutally beats it on the stone floor of her room until it's nothing but shards and a puddle. Well, time for me to leave. I'm Ghost. Then the two of you sit. She occasionally picks through the debris of the 8 ball and rocks, clenching and unclenching her fist. But as the minutes pass, her breathing slows bit by bit. You don't say a word or bring up what happened. She's the one who talks first. Earlier, you seemed like confused about why I care so much about playing a character. She thumbs the dodged edge of a worn piece out of paper in her sharp clawed hand, staring at the wall. She still got blood on her jacket, blood that almost makes you retch with the memory of spidery mandibles devouring her spoils. One glimpse of it made you sick. What would dozens do? Hundreds? I mean, it seems so obvious to me that the Marquise is the greatest and coolest character ever made. But I've been her for so long, it's sort of like a part of me. Everybody's throwing shapes every day and acting like something right. But most people are so boring. They don't dress up, they don't act, they're always so obsessed with being the exact kind of troll they were yesterday. Maybe you don't have to be the same. Maybe you can go on message boards and try out being someone new, find out you like it. Maybe it's nice to be called something your Lucis doesn't call you, and meet people who only ever knew you as the girl online or on the other ship who was like super cool and good at things. Come on, you can't tell me you never wanted to be someone else. You've edged a bit closer to her during this rant and are looking at the sheet of paper in her hand. It's a spreadsheet looking series of boxes she filled in with red ink. Name, Marquise, Spinneret, Mind Thing. Class, Petticoat, Seagriff. Gender, F. Levels, all of them. She's doodled all over the margins, art of her captaining ships and swinging swords and drinking out of goblets. Have you ever wanted to be someone else? The question makes you uncomfortable. Just pondering who you are now fills you with unease. Frick playing a character, filling out a sheet like this for yourself seems impossible. A piece of paper representing all your physical and mental attributes. A blank canvas, the common outlines, thereon. That's not like a word, like one word, man? Defining the boundaries of every conceivable personality. You don't even know how you feel in the gender box. You've been busy making friends, okay? Suddenly she turns on you. How dare you turn on me, friend? And there's a desperate kind of crazy intensity in her good eye, like her gaze will burn you. You're going to leave, aren't you? No, yeah, of course, everybody does. You think I like this? I used to have a partner, she didn't like it either, but she helped anyway. Like you, I guess, except she didn't puke when she saw blood. And also not like you at all. She made rules. She loves rules. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not like big on those gambling queens broke rules all the time, and that's just what you gotta do to survive. To make the voice stop haranguing me. And like she heard her Lucis in her head too, but she didn't need anything from her. What's that even like? I've got to be the best. I have to. I didn't get all the levels just to look at them on the sheet. You saw me out there. It's dangerous. She tried to kill me and left me alone. And then I got even because that's what you have to do to backstabbers. But I still don't even feel. It doesn't bother her. Nobody even cares. They just leave and move on, and I'm still stuck here on this stupid world. How are people mad at me for putting losers out of their misery? This planet sucks. Whew, boy, that's a lot. You let her finish her tirade. She doesn't look straight at you for the whole thing. You gently ask about her Moirail, who you did just befriend, would feel about her saying she's alone. You see, a lot of thoughts flicker through her head, and a lot of expressions dance across her face. She settles onto a look she's smelling something off. People always want stuff from other people. Sometimes you know somebody and you can't describe like what your whole deal is. You grow up with these ideas about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to be. You get handed down these strict categories, tables in your player's handbook, and you read stories or journals or whatever that stuff is that say This is a mate spirit. You feel like this about them. And you have a Moira that meddles with you because you're just too broken for her and she just wants. Or you get told, oh, this is what a rival looks like, and then you look at your black date and it's just an absolutely repulsive, slimy eel who always wants you to kiss him, and ew, man, I could really upgrade in that department. But then there's someone that comes along and none of that stuff makes sense to you. You just like being with her. Or it's not even like you just feel like stuff makes more sense with her. I would say it's like you have this voice in your head saying you're not good enough all the time, but she makes it quiet. But I actually do have a voice in my head saying I'm not good enough. Sounds like schizophrenia to me. God, I'm not explaining this right. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, that's a doomsday device. Everybody leaves, nobody cares, and we're all waiting on a Caliph to war. And look, I'm ready. I'm the best at war. It's just a big flarp. But I'd rather have a plan A. You give Vriska a moment to breathe. You don't give her a reassuring touch on the back, remembering her jump in his when you tried the last. She's like a feral cat, this girl. Tangled, greasy hair droops over shoulders that are always hunched up, like something would come for her throat if she exposed it to anyone. You wonder if she ever let her shoulders down around the girl she's talking about. An ex, perhaps? Of course she did. You wonder if she ever will again. You hear a psst in your ear and a squirrely little laugh, and suddenly you remember a green room that you've had this thought before somehow. You ask her the question that's been consuming you, or more accurately, not consuming you. Why were you left up here when everyone else got fed to the spider? She tenses up immediately when you ask this and takes some time to clench your fists, then release them. Some people are off limits. She has to eat, but she doesn't eat my friends when I bring her enough food. And you're counted as off limits? You're one of her friends? Oh my god, don't get a big head about it. I wouldn't let her eat Carcat either, and he's not like my BFFC for life or anything. Plus, you help me out, and that's the pirate code. Plus, fussy things will be mad. It must be hard separating trolls into two classes, friends and food, like that. It must be hard and nobody understands. I mean, that's how it works here. Everybody's got someone to knock down on. Except Rust Bloods, but them's the works. Them's the breaks. Somebody's gotta be on the bottom to keep the whole shebang afloat. Killing people lower than you is what all the school feeds say you're supposed to do. To get ready for a life of space war against, well, it mostly seems like they just kill more low bloods. That's all it ever is. My ancestor. She looks left and right as though she's going to be over her, then leans in smirkingly. She sounds like she's letting you in on a circuit. Secret. 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 My ancestor mind thing. She sailed around being the terror of the high seas for a while, but she fell in with a group that was going to do something about all that. A bunch of weirdos led by a mutant who wanted revolution. I've always wanted to be like her. I liked using her name more than my own for a while, dressing up like her, learning to sail. But I always end up back here with a pile of corpses. That's having a Lucis, right? Sometimes you don't get to do what you want to do. She talks to me, you know. It only stops when she's full. Always, whispering in my head. Saying I was fatter than her, saying I deserved all the things that happened to me, even when I was bleeding out on this floor. Look at the cold, cluttered, uncomfortably drafty room. Whatever happened to her face and arm must have happened here. You see a broken figure silhouetted on the wall. You look back at Vriska and you know what she is. For all the bombast, insulting, killing, you're looking at a survivor. You're looking at someone who did nothing wrong. Well, if you want to go that far. You remember Dave's carefully crafted defense of a persona. You remember Rose eating oatmeal for dinner in a drafty brutalist mansion, Jade in the shadow of a volcano raising herself. Your world can be as brutal as this one. Earth makes survivors too, and you have made a difference for them, one at a time. All of that nihilistic boldness earlier feels like it was shouted at you by some meddling voice, someone holding the strings. Screw that. You're gonna be a hero today. You're gonna make friends with this whole planet if you have to, and you're going to make it better. All in a day. We can do it, mailman. Or at least less of a complete dumpster. You tell Vriska you'll be right back and sprint down a spiral staircase. What are we doing? You keep running, pumping your beautiful legs straight out the door of Vriska's giant hive. You don't have to color inside the lines of someone else's story. This is your narrative now. Oh god, we're taking control of the narrative. What a Dark Strider move. Oh. You take a leap when you reach the cliff and barrel over, falling fast, wind whipping past your face as you tumble through the air towards a giant white spider. A leap not of faith, but of hope. You crash into the carapace of Vriska's terrible murder mom hard, cracking it with a piercing shriek at the same time as you. Zap! Hundreds of feet above the mouth of the volcano of Jade's Island, and kick off the back of the spider, leaving the giant troll gorge arachnid tumbling into the lava as you zap back to Alternia, back to Vriska's respite block. What? Bro. That's what your reaction is? You appear behind her. She doesn't notice you. She's looking out her window, down at the empty web with a shocked expression. Still looking out the window, her stunned silence turns slowly into a grin someone less generous than you would describe as quiet. Holy mailman, you actually did something. We murdered someone, yay. Okay, that was the longest story because I had to redo it, but we did it. Oh my god. And the next video, which I'll probably record right now, because we're doing this straight up cash money. Yeah, I'm doing it. Okay, whatever. Bye. Bye bye.